This meeting is being conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and has been posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I would ask members of Troop 87 to step forward and lead us in the pledge, please. Gentlemen, I see a thumbs up. Brad, my pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad?
Here.
Councilmember Neville?
Here.
Councilmember Henderson? Here. Deputy Mayor Clark?
Here.
Mayor Beck?
Here. Okay, we move down to the consent agenda. Do I have any council comments or questions regarding the consent agenda? Okay, everybody okay? Okay, open up the public comments or questions concerning the consent agenda. Yes, sir.
My name's Robert Mason. I live at 129 North Station Avenue. I just have a couple questions about the proposed water tower that's going up in Diamond Beach, if I may.
That's a previous meeting. It's not on the consent agenda. You're going to have to wait until we're just discussing those items that are on the consent agenda now, so you'll have the opportunity to do that.
Okay, thank you.
But just hold off for a few minutes so we don't digress here. Okay, any other questions or comments on the consent agenda? All right, we'll close the public portion.
Approval of minutes, October 21st, 2013. Resolution number 2013-278 through 2013-286.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve? I'll move.
I'll second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Neville?
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes.
Resolution number 2013-287, authorizing the payment of vouchers in the amount of $35,000. This is the fourth and final payment to Rescue for the 2013 contribution.
Okay, do I have any council comments on this? Open up the public comment on this. Close the public portion. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Abstain.
Councilmember Neville?
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes. Move down to administrative reports. Any council comments or question on administrative reports? We go to council comments. Councilman Conrad.
Two things. First, I'm sure most of you have heard about the Lower Cape May Regional Football Program losing their varsity status. I want to salute Coach Miller and the school board and the superintendents for what they did. Usually you hear about coaches pushing kids. They made a decision based on their students' safety. These are student athletes. They looked at the issue. They said, let's step back. The Cal, whether you like the Cal decision or not, of then banning them from playing any varsity games for the rest of the year, that's your personal opinion. I don't agree with it, but Coach Miller seems to be a new breed of coach and believes in his players. He's building a new program there, and I think with the township's help, with the recreation, and getting the programs to work closer together, I think we can take pride in what is happening. I want the students. We had a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing this year against seniors and juniors from other schools, and they played very well. They're overmatched, but guess what? They gave it their all, and we should all be proud of them. But this is something we have to support, is our youth and our recreation programs, because guess what? We're talking about helping with the drug problem. Organized sports helps with that. It gets them off the street into other areas. The other things, we had the FEMA meeting, which I know the mayor is going to probably cover a little bit more. I want to put out the web address, www.region2coastal.com. That's region2coastal.com. This is highly important because everyone's thinking this is just the bayfront owners that are going to be affected by this. They're not. There's people in this room right now that live on the east side of Bayshore in the villas that are in flood zones. FEMA brought down maps and showed us where all these different areas are that the flood insurance is going to be affected. They're inaccurate. Please go check your house because this FEMA fight is going to affect a lot of the residents in this township. We will be there to try to do everything we can, but we also need your help.
Well, everybody knows tomorrow is election day, so I suggest you all get out and vote. That's the way you exercise your right to let everybody know what you think. And I've also been asked that after the meeting's over, if anybody in the back wants to help put away some of the chairs, that is save us council a little time because this is where a lot of the votes are going to be cast tomorrow. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I had the opportunity the Friday before last to go check out the haunted trails that was down by the airport on the 26th, and I just wanted to commend Eileen Kreis and her many volunteers that put together a wonderfully spooky display. I got a chance to check it out during daylight hours, and I was too chicken to come back out after dark, but a lot of volunteer hours and a lot of hard work went into this community event that was free to the public, and I just wanted to commend her and the many other volunteers that came out and helped with that. This is also my last evening. I got a chance to fill in for 3 meetings and such. I just wanted to thank the employees who have helped me tremendously. You're extremely, extremely professional and also very kind, and I thank you for helping me through this. I want to thank the public. I wanted to write this down so I got it right. My biggest lesson has been listening to the input of Lower Township citizens and how vital that communication is to good government. Sometimes it's been hard to sit up here and listen to some comments, and some of them have been great as far as ideas in the community, and I do appreciate that input that you have given me there. Lastly, I would like to thank the manager and this council. You have graciously, appointed me to this position to fill in for the citizens of Ward 3. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for teaching me. This is an experience I will not let go to waste. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Jackie, there was no patience needed at any time. Thank you. Just want to give a quick report on the Economic Development Advisory Committee. We met again today at the Saltwater Cafe, which is a new restaurant in Lower Township, right there in South Jersey Marina. Again, we had about 15 people representing all segments of our economy: the hospital, the healthcare, the seafood industry. All aspects was covered, and we had as a guest speaker the economic development leader for Chester County, Pennsylvania, a county where they have 6% unemployment compared to our 14% unemployment. So we wanted to learn what we could from some of our other counties around in this region. We got some really good ideas. One of the things that they recommended that we do is really keep pushing the intersection between our education, our high school, and our businesses. And this is something we're going to continue to push by working closely with the high school, bringing business leaders from our region into the junior class and talk about how great it would be to start a business or how great it would be to work in some of the existing businesses so that we can cultivate and encourage local businesses for our young people coming out of the schools. We're going to be continuing this in a big way. Secondly, I want to point out that next council meeting we're going to be having representatives from the high school come here and give a presentation to those who've been nominated for some stellar community service, and we're going to be looking forward to that opportunity. Finally, I want to say just a quick update on the Fishing Creek School. Some of you are wondering about that. We're working right now to put bids out for the school to abate the asbestos and the lead that's there. And this is something we've got to take care of that. And once we move on the asbestos, we can fulfill and finish that whole restoration that we've been talking about. So we're moving forward with that. I want to thank the Friends of Fishing Creek School, which have been holding the torch for that school. Every time we pass by it looks great, and always appreciate everything that that committee has done to make that treasure stand out for our community. And that's all I have to say.
All right, good. Okay, so we're closed here tomorrow for Election Day, and then next Monday is Veterans Day. The township's also closed on Veterans Day. The FEMA meeting, it was a joint meeting held with the Middle Township. To say that we got caught out in the open with this new BFE mapping system is probably an understatement. We were not anticipating what took place when it came out in September. That all being said, we bent over backwards to get FEMA down here in order to cut the middleman out. Let them explain to the residents what has happened and what has taken place and what we need to do to try and fix this. And like everything else, whether it's the school situation with Cape May or now with FEMA, we're going to spend money. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're going to have to hire professionals that are going to come in and do the wave analysis and all the other things that we need to do. The good part is that we've had, I want to thank Mike Boll for his help in getting the meeting going, but also Connie Mann from Middle Township, their business administrator, who also has done a tremendous amount of work, and bringing FEMA down here, reaching out to some of the experts that are in this field, which is pretty restrictive in and of itself. FEMA doesn't want emotion. It's nice to say that we don't accept the maps and we think they're wrong, but they base their analysis on fact. So we're going to have to spend money to dig up facts about specific parts of this issue. For instance, the Coxhole Creek area with the new drainage system and the pipe system that we had put in over there, I don't think it had a fair acknowledgement in their data. So that would be one issue we may bring up. And there's a variety of others, I think, that our planner, and we met today. We had an initial quick meeting today to start putting together a plan to formulate some kind of an analysis for Lower Township to respond to FEMA. You push a whole bunch of dominoes, and the last one, if these maps go unchallenged, is a severe impact on our home sales, or especially with the second home market, which are going to take the huge hit on the insurance. And we can't have that. I mean, we have to defend this and fight it tooth and nail. And it also involves with us trying to work together with Middle to get a beach restoration project going along the bayside. You know, it seems like whenever there's sand being put somewhere, it's everywhere but here or along the bayside. And, you know, we need to like bang the drum hard and hard and hard to get that done. So that's you know, we're responding. We're aware of where we're at. We'll do the best we can. But, I mean, you know, we're fighting red tape. That's basically what it boils down to. Now, I'd like council to come down. I have to read an award which we rarely give out. It's called, you know, I'll explain it when we go down there, but if you all of council come down, I'm going to bring somebody in.
It's rarely given out because we haven't had this situation before. It's called the Stepping Up to the Plate Award. And it's in grateful appreciation presented to Jacqueline Henderson. In grateful appreciation of your dedicated service to the residents of Ward 3 for stepping up to the plate and representing your constituents with respect and enthusiasm. thank you for a job well done. And we do appreciate, it's been a pleasure having you here. She's a real dynamo. I mean, I think I went to every ribbon cutting and she was there. And it was refreshing to get somebody, you know, a little bit different, that had a little bit different viewpoint. And I don't think that maybe this township's seen the last of you, but I strongly encourage you to continue to come to the meetings and to get involved. And you did a great job while you were here.
I can kiss them all.
Thank you.
And we had I think that's the end of council comments. I had a request from Johnny Walker, the DAV. Here it is here. Johnny, do you want to talk about your program real quick?
Absolutely.
We didn't have a chance to put you on the agenda, but I think you want to get this information out to our veterans.
Thank you, Mayor, council people. This next Thursday, November 14th, this is going to be our first annual. It's going to be an annual and continual program that it's going to be run during Veterans Day week each and every year. It'll be Thursday, November 14th, 2013 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Naval Air Station Museum across from the Forgotten Warriors Vietnam Museum. Please join us for a veterans-specific resource and homeless prevention fair. To learn about local resources for veterans in Cape May County, this event will have representatives from local hospitals, the VA, community organizations, and more. If you or your loved one has served, then let us serve you. The highlights will be guest speaker, Assemblyman Sergeant Robert Andrzak. We'll have people from home care with information, VA entitlements and assistance, health and mental health information, homelessness prevention and assistance, legal resources, and there'll be light refreshments provided. There'll also be free flu shots, there'll be blood pressure screenings, there'll be cholesterol tests, and diabetes tests. It's going to be a first of its kind down here in Cape May County and a first down here in the Lower Township of a lot of organizations who are volunteers. It's a group that's been working now for about 8 months together. It's called the Citizens Veterans Advisory Committee, CVAC. And we want to thank everybody that's been participating, and we really hope we can get the word out. We're going to have everybody there to help. We just need the veterans to show up. So we need you to get the word out. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, now we'll open up the call to the public. If somebody wishes to talk to council, please raise your hand, step forward, identify yourself. This gentleman at the last row, and then you, Billy. This guy had started to talk about the Diamond Beach.
Yes, Robert Mason, 129 North Station Avenue. Just a couple questions about the water tower that's being proposed for Diamond Beach.
Right.
Who donated the land?
I believe, and it's Mr. Chiampetti.
All right.
Now, it hasn't been approved yet, you know that.
I know that. That's why I'm here. I want to get some facts before we go before
Well,
DEP.
I think really that we need Bill Galestock to give the information because it's coming out of the planning office, and I would be more confident unless you're confident in speaking on it, Mike.
Well, at this point, sir, what I can tell you is there's a public safety need for fire suppression in the Diamond Beach area. Currently, the water tower's in Wildwood City, and by the time the flow gets down to the end of the island there in Diamond Beach in our section, the water pressure is not what we would like. And God forbid if there's a serious fire there, as you know, the fire companies need that water pressure. So they're talking about a water tank to help the Wildwood water. And I know that's not your issue. I know you probably support that we need fire suppression in that area and all that. It's
Well,
just
not
the other.
necessarily. I'll talk about that when you're done.
But as the mayor said, it's a planning director, and I'd be more than pleased tomorrow or any day you like. You want to give me a call, come over, and we'll sit down with the planning director so I can tell you exactly where we're at or where this project is. But as the mayor said, it hasn't been approved yet. So that's where we're at.
Well, my only question then would be, when Mr. Ziegler was at the planning board meeting, and this is in the
Right.
minutes, he indicated that when the grade was going up, the water pressure and the water for fire was adequate in that area. Now, he said, he needs the water tower now in the event there's additional development in Diamond Beach. Now, there's a very vicious rumor going around the neighborhood, and I was out walking the neighborhood today, that Chimpetti, who for 30 years has been trying to develop the marshland out there, has a plan that he wants to develop from behind the Bayview all the way up to Raleigh Avenue. And that the water tower is just step one in his accomplishment.
Well, it wouldn't take place at this council. That would be something that would be coming before the planning board. So I don't have that. I haven't heard that rumor, don't know anything about that.
I would be more than happy to entertain a meeting with you and our planners, so we can sit down and go over all this to at least get you all the answers. Everything takes an approval process. Even though the water tower may be approved, anything else that's going to happen there is going to have to get approvals.
Well, then,
And if there's environmental concerns, there's a challenge.
there absolutely is. As far as I saw the, I guess the blueprints for that project, are they going to be opening up all those streets that are currently dead ends, Austin, North Station, South Station, and Raleigh Avenue?
I don't have that answer for you, sir, but I will get you the answer if you, like I said, if you want to come over, we'll sit down with the planner and we'll go over everything so that you're up to date and you can share with your neighbors.
Okay, fine.
You bet.
I'll see you after the meeting.
Yes, sir.
Bill?
Bill Dunn, Village, New Jersey. Mayor Beck, Council, Mr. Vole, Mr. Sandman. The last two meetings, we've been here with signs, maybe a little raucous at times. And you sat here steadfast and said that if something came from the prosecutor's office, that you would step forward and do due diligence. Well, I'm here tonight to thank you. All right?
Appreciate
The
it.
gentleman stood steadfast. I know you stepped up and did something. To what degree, I don't know, and I'm sure you're not at liberty to say. But I do know that you stepped up and did something.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you. I also want to thank, I guess we have to thank our board some too for making the right decision. But unfortunately, this was a two-headed monster, okay? One is gone now. There's still one there. I don't want to mention names, so I'll just address this person as a $109,000 a year secretary of one. Okay? You have a girl back here who's still out of work. My feeling, it might be wrong, but she's out of work because the secretary, or manager of secretaries, is planning to retire and looking to set her daughter up for a job. All right? I know you gentlemen don't want to get involved in all that, but I just want you to keep an eye on what's going on down there. This lady has made it through every executive director. She does a good job of keeping her hands clean. And I'll tell you what, she's neck deep in everything that goes on down there. This girl back here, for 9 years, was labeled the best thing since sliced bread. It got to the point she got raises, commendations, got to the point where it made me sick sometimes, actually, to hear her name all the time. But then I worked with her, and I saw what she could do. I saw the job she did, and she was worth every dime they gave her. Now all of a sudden, in 2 months, she's labeled a terrible employee, and they're trying to terminate her. That, I think, has to be looked into. This girl has never been written up once, has never been in trouble for anything. But in 2 months, I tell you, she's been labeled a terrible employee. I know it's not your job to run that entity, it's your entity here, but if you could please keep an eye on that down there, I'd appreciate it. Once again, thank you gentlemen for doing a good job.
This lady, and then that gentleman back here.
I'm Jana Bailey. I'm that employee that he was talking about. I'm currently on a paid leave of absence from the MUA. And I had emergency surgery. It was serious surgery on September 20th. And when I was due to come back on September 30th, they put me on paid leave of absence. They said that they investigated my computer during the time that I was out and found information that they didn't like, which is kind of crazy. The computers left the building. It's kind of crazy to me. My personnel file, all of my performance reviews have all been stellar. They couldn't do enough for me, and I just would like to kind of reinforce what Bill said, that we do still have a big problem at the MUA, and no matter who comes in and takes the director's place, if somebody does, there's still a big influence down there that's negative. There's still employees that are scared. There's still a lot of negativity in our board and in the office. So I just wanted to say thank you for what you've done, and just please continue to look into it. Thank you.
Wait, did this gentleman, somebody had their hand up, a guy with the blue jacket, and then you're up then.
Hi, Jay Young, Cape May Beach. 16 months I've been coming to ask to repave Clubhouse Road, and last you told me maybe if the stars were right aligned.
The stars have been aligned.
November would be the time. It's November. I don't see anything.
And it's time to get that cleaned up and paved, and it's going to happen. Mr. Douglas is working on putting the paving crew together. We talked today about the milling of the road. That's going to start probably within a week. So the stars are finally lined up.
All right, good. The other, the MUA told me that they were going to do Bay from the S-curve out, but that guy's on unpaid leave or gone now or whatever. Do you know what's going on with
I'm not sure. I got to defer to our director, Gary Douglas. I'm not sure, since all these things have developed down the street, where we're at on that. But I will confer with Mr. Douglas and see if we can take care of that also.
Okay, well, should be a nice November then. We'll give thanks.
Yes, sir.
Frank Sirocco, the Villas. You mentioned about FEMA and Coxwell Creek. The one thing that nobody seems to take into consideration is Fishing Creek.
We had that discussion today.
Oh, really? Because that in itself is a problem.
We had that, especially since we're in a joint venture with Middle Township.
Yeah.
And it kind of is between us. And,
well, my thing is, if they could open up and let Coxwell Creek front run free, so to speak, there's no reason why they can't do the same thing with Fishing Creek. And that would alleviate a lot of groundwater that accumulates through the lower part of Villas.
right.
Now, for example, if I'm going to put a fence post up, I go down a little more than 1.5 feet, and I'm running in the water. Now, when that creek is really full, I can go down 6 inches and hit water. So if that's opened up and that water level goes down, it's like pouring a glass of water on the table. It doesn't stay in one spot. Water seeks its own level.
Sure it does.
And it spreads out through the township.
Right.
Frank,
That
you know,
itself
I agree.
is-
I'm sorry, go ahead. Finish up.
All right.
You know I agree with you because I talked to one of your neighbors and you.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing is I brought this up to the county last year, and they said, oh, we're going out to bid to fix the pump houses. They had to fix the pipes, they had to fix the pump houses. As you know, I believe one of the pumps actually works correctly, one works half-time, another one shot down. As of right now, I have not heard anything from the county about when it was supposed to go out to bid last February. As of right now,
Go ahead.
we all know that it's just like filling a bathtub.
Yes.
It's groundwater, and that's what's causing the flooding sometimes on the north end of the villas and the east side. The water has to drain somewhere. If you're keeping that Fishing Creek, that area high, there's nowhere for the water to drain.
That's
Once
my
it's
point.
lowered, it goes down, just like before Sandy. Our Public Works closed the inflow for Coxhaw Creek, let it flow out. Sandy came along, it filled up, but that was fine because we weren't getting salt water in. We had let it drain. The problem is we're not doing that at Fishing Creek.
Well,
The
even
problem
if
is
they-
it
I'm
is
sorry.
the county installation and they are responsible for it. So what we could do about it is pretty much try to put pressure on them.
Well, if they're gonna fix the pumps and the water, that is still gonna be damming the base side of that, of Fishing Creek, and it's not gonna flow free.
Nope.
So, what's the purpose?
I don't know. I can't get an answer for that. Green
I
Creek,
can
they
tell
opened
you-
wide
I
open.
can tell you the answer. You wanna hear it?
Sure.
The back part of that, the back part of it, of there between the villas, Delhaven and Wildwood is a meadow. And the mosquito control keeps that flooded because they want to test for mosquitoes. Now, from what I understand, that's government money. And they don't want to do anything to lower that creek or to take the water out of that basin because the money dries up.
Well, if the water's too deep, the mosquitoes won't hatch. Mosquitoes need shallow water.
That's beside
I
the
heard
point.
Fish and Wildlife wanted it for other things, but we're talking about Delhaven, parts of Middle Township, and a lot of Lower Township that, when I first moved into my house, the ground was dry. I now have moisture. You have a neighbor that has a sump pump that runs almost 24/7
Yes.
under his house.
And my next door neighbor has one also.
And you had a beautiful fish pond a few years ago, but this is something, if they just fix it, come up with it, if they're saying Coxhaw Creek works by doing this, why can't they do it for Fishing Creek?
Well,
If they're gonna
my
pump,
point
I
is-
offer to put solar panels,
Yeah.
do something, cut the electric, but I don't know what they're doing, maybe the
My
manager.
point is, if they're going to turn around and put money into pumps and piping and what have you, they could just as well take that money, not even a third of that money, and just open that up. It won't be nowhere near expensive.
And put the tidal gauge.
Yeah,
Put the top.
we'll take another look at it, especially now that we're into this frame.
Okay,
All right, that's the best I can tell you. It's not ours.
okay.
We'll advocate.
Okay.
Somebody else? Sue?
Sue Bailey, Irma. I just want to add a little bit to what Mr. Dunn and Jana had just stated a few minutes ago about management at the MUA. It dates back a lot further than just this past year, and I'm sure there are a few women in the back that can attest to some of the harassment that goes on in that office. When I was on the board, I was completely unaware of it. I believed everything that was presented to me as a board member as being gospel truth. It was very stupid of me, and I should have looked a little deeper. But anyway, some of the things my daughter has told me, she would apply for a day off 2 months in advance and not know whether or not she can have that day until the morning of. Forget planning a vacation. She requested 2 hours off to take her sick dog to the vet and was denied. Her boyfriend ended up taking the dog to the vet. This is the kind of harassment that goes on down there, and I would like to ask you to please continue to put pressure on that board to straighten things out. It's ridiculous. People have lost their jobs, either being fired or strong-arm retired, and it's got to stop. And the root of it is one person. You just got the tip of the iceberg. He was just a pawn, and he was played very well. You need to dig a little deeper. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that wishes to address council?
George Doherty, Seashore Road. I guess I had another question about this FEMA, the appointment with FEMA and meeting the public here. When, did you have a scheduled date on that, or?
No,
is
we had
just
that
in the
last
works?
Friday night.
Oh, you already did that?
Yeah,
Okay.
we advertised it, we did everything, we had articles, oh yeah.
I didn't even see it.
We even did a reverse, a robocall.
I don't use my landline anymore since.
Well, we,
Just,
You can sign up yourself.
yeah, we had it before last meeting, we talked about it at the last meeting.
I didn't know.
Weren't you here at the last meeting?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't,
Well, correct me if I'm wrong.
is there a map somewhere in the, you know, in this city?
In the planning department, they have.
Planning board?
Yeah.
I think I'm
With
fine.
Bill Gilstock.
Okay, I think I'm fine where I shouldn't have any increase.
Right.
I never had to pay it yet in flood insurance, but
Okay.
hopefully I shouldn't. All right.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address council? I see a hand way in the back here.
Good evening, Tom Pizzoli from the Villas, and I'm one of the members of the board with the Lower Township MUA. I want to start off first of all by saying I love your plaque, Mama Councilwoman, and I compliment you. You came in when it was baptism by fire, and I think you did a great job. Thank you. I feel that two members of that board, we're not looking for anything but to do the best we could for the employees and the ratepayers. I really want to acknowledge our manager. Michael, thank you for always at least helping me to get myself straightened out. Councilman Conrad, Councilman Neville, and Councilman Mama for showing the interest in attending our meetings to show how much you cared for the safety of our employees. I'm very happy with the results. It took a team effort, not two people, not three people. But you know what? We won. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to address council? Close the public portion.
Resolution number 2013-288, a resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. This is to discuss litigation, Sango versus the Township of Lower.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'm sorry, somebody,
Yeah, we were trying to make a comment, but you're...
well, we had asked if anybody, did you have your hand up?
Yeah.
Well, then step forward then.
You want to finish the vote?
Well, we'll just hold off until she's done, then we'll go right back into the vote.
Nancy Ems from North Cape May. I also wanted to thank the council for starting the proceedings and looking into the MUA board. However, I actually disagree with Mr. Dunn. This is not a two-headed monster, it's a three-headed monster. Mr. Beck, you shook my hand when you were politicking, looking for votes. Mr. Neville, you too. And we came to you on Labor Day, Mr. Beck, and we asked for your support, in which case you told us that you had a hands-off policy. So I'm glad to see that you've taken that back and you've taken some steps to right the wrongs that are being done there. But I'm here to tell you, it's just the tip of the iceberg, like Sue said, and that the chairman of the board and the secretary are the puppet masters behind pulling the puppet strings. I'd also like to know why Mr. Eckert has not had to surrender his telephone yet from the MUA.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move forward to vote now.
We have a motion by Councilmember Neville,
Second.
Councilmember Conrad.
Yes.
Councilmember Neville.
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark.
Yes.
Mayor Beck.
Yes.